Health, and we're talking about the benefits of living in Bali. What is my experience living in Bali? And everything that I have to share about that. So if you're tuning in after the live has finished, welcome. This is a live video. I'm going to share some insights, some thoughts that I have about this wonderful, beautiful place. So the first insight that I have to share about Bali is that place. I really enjoy living here. This is probably one of the best places that I've ever been on planet Earth. I've been to some luxurious places, some vacation islands and other places in the Caribbean, but none of that compares to what there is here. This is fantastic. And why is it fantastic? Well, because this is a spiritual place. I'm living in a spiritual community with other like-minded spiritual friends. So that's a big part of it. I'm sure if I was here by myself, it wouldn't be as fantastic, although still the island of Bali is quite fantastic. It is like separated from the world. It's like a vacation home that's separated from all the chaos that's happening in the world. Australia is like this to some extent. I was in Australia, and Australia feels like you're in a totally different planet, actually. If you're watching the world news from Australia, things are so far away that it really has no impact on you. So in a way, Australia feels like you're on Mars or some other distant planet, Earth-like planet. Bali feels very similar to that because it's also similar geographic location. It's in the southern hemisphere. It's very close to Australia, just a 2 or 3 hour flight. And the most beneficial, the most valuable thing about Bali is that it is spiritual. There is lots of spiritual activities going on here. That's not the case in Australia. Australia is like a Western type of country, and people do Western type of activities there. They smoke, they drink alcohol, they party, they work, and they die. But Bali, people don't die. People transcend the human limitations and live well here. Even though this country is relatively poor compared to other Western countries, still the happiness metric here is much more than in other countries, other well-off Western countries. Do I know that for a fact? Is there some scientific study on this? No. This is my own personal experience. And I feel happier. My body feels happier being here. This is more healthy and more sane to live in countries close to the equator. I can't see myself going and living in a frozen wasteland for the rest of my life. That's going to be very challenging and painful or uncomfortable. I don't want to do that. So, by the way, if you're tuning in live, I'm answering any of your questions that you have for Bali. If you want to know what it's like to live in Bali, if you want to know anything and everything about the place that I'm staying, where I'm living, how it is to live here, this is why I'm here, this is why I'm live. So ask any question that you want, and I will do my best to answer. So the food that's grown here locally is, of course, local food, and that feels really great. I can't tell you how uncomfortable it is for the system to eat something that has been grown 4,000 miles away from you. That's not sensible. So your body becomes discombobulated and your mind becomes distorted or discordant if you're eating soil that is so foreign to the soil that you walk on. But here, the majority of the food that I eat is from this soil. And this gives my body a kind of ease. Ah, okay, I can relax. In fact, to give you a little personal anecdote here, I went to a grocery store or a little shop. It's not really fair to call it a grocery store that sells fruits, a very nice fruit shop. And I'm shopping around and I bought mangoes, I bought some grapes, some other fruit, and I saw this beautiful, shiny clementines. And I decided to purchase them. And while I'm putting them in the bag, I'm asking, is this from Bali? Because I was getting a little weird feeling about it. And the shop owner said, no, this is from Australia. And I thought, okay, this is the last time that I'm buying these clementines because I already felt something is off with them. The aesthetically pleasing sight of them gave me a kind of skepticism because I'm from the West, I'm from a Western country. And if you go to the grocery store, they smear wax all over your fruit in order for it to look visibly appealing so that you buy it. Can you imagine the insanity of being a person that sells fruit and okay, let me not go into that. So, but it's not just about the aesthetics or the fact that it's the fact that it's grown halfway across the pond or halfway across the ocean in a foreign soil. And that doesn't do well with me. It doesn't do well with you either. Some people are not as sensitive enough to perceive this. It is causing havoc in your system, but it's so subtle, you're probably just feeling bad. Oh, I feel bad today, must be the weather. No, because you just ate kiwis that are from New Zealand and you're from the United States. And your body is like, what is going on? What is this soil? Where does this come from? How is this happening? I'm in the middle of winter, but I'm eating citrus fruits, tropical fruits. Your brain is going, what the hell is going on? So let's see if we have any questions. Giant Cat says, is the food that's grown locally local food? Wild. It is pretty wild when I first thought about it, that the local food that's grown here is local food, but I'm glad that it blew your mind too. Glad you can afford to buy land and have the time to grow food. Many of us are struggling and don't have land. My friend, I don't have land, and I eat fruits from the local grocery store. But the fruits are grown locally. They're local fruit. I'm fortunate to say, and I'm also very happy to announce this, very pleased about this, that the large part of my diet contains a fruit. I'm eating a lot of fruit. And that also makes my system feel very happy and groovy. I'm grooving. Why? Because fruit is the food of the planet. It is the simplest, most conscious food you can eat. And a fruitarian diet is something that you have to incorporate more into your life if you want to live a conscious and sustainable lifestyle. I don't mean sustainable in some way that, the shipping containers aren't going to fall into the ocean. It's sustainable from your own sake, from your own self, how you are inside of your own mind, and then, of course, the external environment. So you come first. So fruits and plant life in general, but fruits especially, are like food that's given to us by God, not animals that run away from you and have a beating heart and bleed when you cut them open and scream also and cry, and their family members cry at the thought of their loss of the loved ones, and then you eat that festering, rotting corpse and you think everything is going to be fine and dandy and everything is normal. No, you're not normal. So that is permanently out of my life. I cannot go back to that. It's impossible. I will literally puke if I have to eat somebody's body part. But this is working very well for me. Sometimes I watch Instagram reels of people saying, oh my God, I went on a vegan diet and it almost killed me. Buddy, like the first instinct and thought that I have is are you actually that weak as a human being that you ate some fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, and legumes, and it nearly killed you? What the hell is wrong with you? Are you sure, by the way, that that diet almost killed you? Oh my God, can you believe plants? They have phytoestrogens and they're doing something in your stomach. Yeah, it's called fiber. You need more of it. This is not any scientific knowledge or some bullshit that I read in a study. This is just plain old common sense that comes from my own wisdom and me clearly seeing the inside of my mind and how my own body functions. Nobody has to tell me about this. I know this firsthand that when I eat soft, easy to digest food, my human body feels flexible, stretchy, comfortable, at ease, and overall relaxed and pleased. That kind of rhymed. So it's very nice. It is something that I look forward to live this lifestyle more. In fact, what you can't see, but behind the camera is the kitchen area. And I'm looking at fruits right now, mangoes and papayas, and so I'm going to look forward to eating that tomorrow. One of the downsides of living in Bali is that it is in the southern hemisphere. And as we may know, the largest things that are happening on the planet, the most amount of activity is in the northern hemisphere. I would say something probably like 80% plus is in the northern hemisphere. In fact, we're going to Google it. What population live in the northern hemisphere compared to the southern hemisphere? Approximately 87 to 90% of people live in the northern hemisphere. Wow. And only 10 to 13% live in the southern hemisphere. So the party is in the northern hemisphere, and we're not in it if we're living in the southern hemisphere. Southern hemisphere has benefits and has drawbacks, but I'm from the northern hemisphere. This is where I grew up. And I have a sort of a familiarity with how the earth spins there. It spins clockwise. Here, things spin counterclockwise. Things spin towards the feminine energy. And the southern hemisphere feels more feminine than the northern hemisphere. That's just the way it is. Maybe this is my own mental projection of things, but that's just how I feel. And this was very strongly felt by me when I was in Australia. I could feel very clearly that the feminine energy here in Australia, or in Australia when I was there, was so strong. And people appeared more beautiful. It was quite wild. So if you want to find a mate, a husband or a wife that's very beautiful and feminine, I'm not sure if you want to find a feminine man, but you should go to Australia. So I'm here live answering your questions, whatever question that you want to ask me about living in Bali, I'm here to answer that. Let's see, what other questions do we have? Greetings, Earthlings, from Ghost. Welcome. Fruitarianism is for noobs. I'm a breatharian. Yes. That is a little bit outside of my realm right now. I don't see myself living only on breath, but I do see for a fact that the amount of food that I need every day is not as much as I thought. In fact, Sadhguru says something along the lines of, whatever you're eating right now, you can drop by 50% and live comfortably, healthily, and not gain or lose too much weight. Because the biggest problem that probably most of us have is overeating. You're eating way too much, or you think that you need way more food than you actually do. And that's the same for me. So I have to learn how to cut down my food intake, and that will make my body feel very good. One thing that I'm learning about this is that it's so important and necessary to move my body, to exercise. You know, in the Western countries, we've been disconnected from our physical bodies, and that's not healthy. So because you're on the computer and the internet for the majority of your life, your body becomes something that you kind of carry around and not some wonderful, joyous thing, which it is. So exercise needs to play a role in your life. And when I say exercise, I don't mean going to the gym and pumping weights, although that's good too. But I mean just actively living. I took a walk from here, from my hotel room to my friend's villa or house. It took me around 15 minutes or so. So I walk 30 minutes a day. Sometimes I come here twice a day, so it's about an hour of walking. That's good. That's the bare minimum. I also do some push ups, some crunches, squats, some body weight activities. And I'm noticing that the more exercise I do, ironically, the less food my body needs, or at least the less craving that I have for food. Because your body needs food. Yes, it's a material for growth, yet not as much as we think. And when I exercise, when I move my energy, the desire for substance and the desire for pleasure gets kind of taken care of. So that's very good. Ghost goes on to say, I can eat rotting animal flesh, cow dung, etc. It doesn't matter. I will always be the supreme divine deity of the universe. Well, my friend, maybe your name is Ghost for a reason because you're a ghost. And the supreme being of the universe that eats cow dung, rotting flesh, and whatever else you divine beings, supreme beings of the universe don't eat cow shit. What else? What's next? I guess we can talk about the friends that I have here, the people that are around me all the time. This is the first time in my life, ever since I was maybe in my early 20s, that I've spent significant time around people in a way that was just coincidental. Like, for example, coincidental meaning I would go to some monastery, some Buddhist forest monastery, and then I happened to find friends that were there, or I happened to find people that are there that I could talk to. That's good, but it's not great. And definitely before I was 20, in my earlier years, I had friends, and that was fun. That was my childhood, but that's gone now. Yet, this is the first time that I'm consciously choosing the people that I'm spending time with. People that are here, they want to be here, they know who's here, and they come for the company. I'm here because of Leo and Reese, and now Thor, and Justice, and whoever else decides to come here. Abel, that's here, that came here recently, and Dennis, and many more people are desiring to show up here. So, like I said again, I'm here consciously for the people. This is why I'm here. Let me just quickly pause and get my water bottle because I'm very thirsty. Okay. Delicious. So, this is going to grow. This has to grow. This needs to grow. More of you need to join us here. This is a fantastic opportunity that we have. We're building something, creating something here. It seems like things are finding potential and things are coming to fruition. I can't really share anything with you yet, but big things are in the works. Big things are being planned. And we'd love to see you here. We need all the hands we can get. Not that we need you to do work or some other nonsense, the dense way of living. But We need more joyous people to come around and build our community. It's always funner to be around with people that you resonate with. And if you're watching my videos, you are probably that person. Welcome, Zen. Zen says, so you want people to come to Bali, but you can't say why? I just did say why. Because big things are in the works, big possibilities, big opportunities are on the way. I can't share exactly what because it's wise to share. If it's still a sapling, if I share a sapling with you and you don't know, you don't have enough sensibility within yourself to not treat the sapling as a basketball, well, then the plant is going to die and then I'm going to be the fool. So wait a few months for the sapling to grow, for this to become a mature enough tree for me to say, okay, you can touch it and you can, you know, if you're a child, you can kind of push it around a little bit. It'll be strong enough to do that. But right now it's in the infancy phase. Yet still, you come for the people. I'm here, Leo's here, Brees is here, Thor is here, many other conscious human beings are here. And we're creating content. Somebody here is spamming my chat. My friend, if you don't have anything positive to say, don't say anything. Otherwise, I'm going to block you or ban you. Let me put this user in timeout for 10 minutes. So what else can I share? This is a very nice place that I live here. Wish I could show you. Maybe I will in a few moments or minutes. There's a pool area. This is the villa this is like the content creation villa that we're staying in. And unfortunately, the pool is full of chlorine, which I won't swim in. How much is the rent? Well, the rent here, I don't know for sure because I don't pay the rent here, but it's definitely much cheaper than what you would pay in America. You can live like a king for a third of the price. That is for sure. Paying rent for a simple room with a shower and bathroom. It's quite a nice room on a balcony and it's private. It's like a hotel. I pay approximately, let's say 450 US dollars for that, which is not much. And when are we doing the interview? Yes, nice to see you, Sky Guardian. I don't know, maybe after this. So any questions that you have, any comments or concerns about anything and everything, living in Bali, I'm here. This is, let's see, how long have I been here? That's an interesting thing to think about. I've been here for approximately 16 days, a little over 2 weeks. I feel like I finally settled in. And now it's time for me to go and look around and explore and wander around the place. Things are very relaxed here. Things are very relaxed. And are you having fun? Yes, I am. Yes, things are very fun. We're having a joyous time. It's definitely going to get more intense and we're going to have more laughter. And yes, I definitely am happier and I definitely am glad I came out of the house for sure. So, yeah, there are basically no laws for driving here. I see children riding scooter road, like 11 or 12-year-old boys just driving a motorbike, which is cool. I don't have a motorbike yet because it's not sensible for me to get one right now. I walk, and if I need to go somewhere, I hop on my friend's scooter on the back and we go somewhere, or I rent a taxi, which is very cheap. It's like $1 to get to wherever you're going, or 30-minute ride. So definitely in the future, I want to rent a bike because it looks fun and also it's a good way of transporting myself. Yet at the same time, I don't want to sacrifice the ability to walk. Walking is very good and it makes my body feel very good. And an e-bike, yes. The bikes here are not electric, they're gasoline guzzers. But I was thinking actually just as I was walking here and somebody drove past me, what it would be like to get an electric bike here. Maybe that wouldn't be so safe because it's very expensive and somebody might steal it. But that's not the vibe that I get from Bali either. Bali isn't a thieving place. Like, for example, when I was in certain parts in the southern hemisphere, I don't want to name the country, but, or the city, it felt like if you leave something out, it'll get taken. And in fact, one day I left underwear out in my hostel to dry outside in the backyard of the property. And then when I woke up, the clothes were gone. So that doesn't feel that like that here at all. I'm sure there are people that steal things, but that is like so rare and uncommon. I don't think I've ever even come across in Ubud, where I'm staying, that I had a bad vibe about, oh, maybe this person is not safe or this person can steal something or hurt me. No, that's not like that. So that's fantastic. That's one of the best qualities about Bali is the fact that there are no criminals here. I'm sure there are criminals, okay? I'm sure otherwise there would be no prisons in Bali or, yeah, in Bali. But that's not the vibe. That's not the rule. That's the exception. That's so minor. That's almost non-existent. What else can I share with you? The food here is quite good. The staple food of Bali is tempeh and also tofu. But tempeh you can find anywhere. And also tempeh chips you can buy, which I've never tried before, but they're fantastic. And the food can be ordered on an online app. And it costs somewhere between $5 to $7 to get a nice meal, which is very nice. And it delivered to your house from a restaurant 30 minutes away. So that's occasionally what I do. And that's very good. Also, a change that I'm making is I'm consciously consuming more protein because, you know, things like rice and pasta and bread, they're tasty, they're good, but they're not the best for your human body. They break up into sugars. A lot of them are refined sugars, and it's not the best. What is the best? Well, eating lots of healthy, dense food like beans, legumes, lentils, seeds, nuts, and in various combinations, which is actually what nature wants. When nature drops nuts from a tree, it's for you to eat it and for primates to eat it and then pass on its genetics. Somebody here says, Sublime Sunshine says, what does your day to day look like in Bali? How do you and the group use your time? Good question. I wake up, the last few days, I've woken up around 12 o'clock noon, which is not the best, but I'm planning to change that. And I do whatever activities need to be done in the beginning of the day, shower, exercise, eat food, and then I do some editing work. I make content for the team here and I clip some clips for people to use, and so that's kind of what I'm doing for my livelihood. And then after some time of doing that, maybe I relax for an hour or two, watch some YouTube videos, which also I want to cut that out. I want to consume less entertainment and produce more. And then I walk here to this amazing villa content house, which is where Reese, Leo, and Thor live. It's a 3-bedroom villa. And then whatever we do here, we review some clips or some videos that I edited for the team here, and we contemplate how we go on, and then we record some videos and podcasts, which is the highlight of my day. Once that's done, I go back home, I edit that video, and brush my teeth and go to sleep. So that's generally how my day looks like. Not much packed in to that day, yet I'm doing the essential things. But I definitely do see a value in doing things repeatedly at a similar time because that's what the body thrives at. You want to build a routine and a successful routine where you can produce valuable content or ideas for your fellow human beings. So what do I want to incorporate? Definitely more exercise, not just push-ups and squats in my room like I've been doing, but more, I want to go out more. One of the downsides is that things are very far away from each other, and there's no ability to walk. That's also another downside. In Bali, you can't walk on the sidewalk because there's no sidewalks. There are sidewalks on very popular streets like the downtown market, but as soon as you leave the downtown market, sidewalk era ends. Or maybe you're gonna get lucky with one sidewalk on one side of the street. But if you're going into suburban areas, there are no sidewalks at all. And you're just basically walking with traffic. So walking is not sensible, except for the fact that suburban areas are largely restricted from cars. So only motorbikes ride the suburban areas because the streetways are so thin. I don't know if that was consciously done or unconsciously, but it would be lots of streets themselves are the size of if you have a house and your neighbor's house, that side walkway is about the size of a lot of suburban streets. And so you can walk comfortably if you're walking through a suburban area. But walking long distances somewhere, it's not practical because you're going to basically be walking alongside traffic. So if you have any other questions or comments or concerns, I'm going to finish it very soon. If you have any other burning questions, ask here. And if you're watching the replay, you can also ask the question down below in the comment section, and I'll be sure to answer. What else about Bali that I can share? The weather is fantastic here. The weather in Bali is really good. It is very warm, maybe a little bit too warm, but it's definitely way better to be too warm than slightly cold. If it's slightly cold, then you're getting into a whole host of problems of having to wear a t-shirt and you sweat, and then it gets a little bit breezy and you're feeling chilled, and then you can't sleep with the windows open sometimes. So I'd rather have this kind of temperature, which is slightly above the comfortable level in the daytime. You're going to sweat most likely even if you're just standing still outside in the shade, most likely you're going to sweat a little bit. But I'd prefer that. And that's also a good way for your system to clean itself. To purify. There's a purification process that happens in a warm climate because your body sweats and the water goes out and all the toxins get expelled. That's one of the benefits. Climate is very good. The place that I'm living in is called Ubud, which is kind of the center of Bali, the island. And the weather here is exceptionally good because it is sunny in the daytime, sometimes a little bit cloudy, and then a lot of the times it rains at night. And one of the guys that I'm living with here, or Leo, he said that he likes that because the space gets cleansed. And that's very true. There's a cleansing process when rain happens. And fortunately, rain happens usually at nighttime. So that's good because you're sleeping. Then in the daytime, it's either sunny or cloudy, or partially cloudy. Some sunlight is still seeping through. So that's fantastic. You can't really ask for anything better than that. All right, we got Tufri. Adi Astra on my Discord server asks, just gonna have to appreciate the perfect weather here in SD if y'all won't let me come. South SD, what is that? South Dakota? I don't know. My friend, you are definitely most welcome, and we look forward to seeing you here. We actually want you to come. I was speaking with Leo just a few hours ago, and I was talking to him about you, that you got your passport, and you should definitely get here as soon as you can. If you can book a plane ticket and arrive here in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be thoroughly impressed with you. And that's what you should be doing. Take this leap forward because this is going to improve your life massively. You don't know what you're missing. So whatever we've been doing on Discord, this is like amplified 10x. The benefits you're going to receive are also 10x. So if you can afford it, if you can spend some time here, the visa on arrival is 2 months. You can stay here for 2 months or apply for a longer visa while you're in America still. You feel it out and arrive. We want to see you here. So let's go. And same with you, Monk Life. We want to see you here. Do whatever you need to do to get yourself out of Vietnam. I think that's where you're staying in. And come meet us here. I was also talking to Leo about you. And he said it's a good idea for you to come. And we want all of the people. If you're sane, which you are, most of you are sane, come on down. It's going to get better the more people come. So yeah, we definitely want to see you here. Is it safe in Indonesia? They say there's a rally there. Yeah. So the actual state of Indonesia is going through some upheaval, but that's not in Bali. Bali is a separate island. It's still Indonesia, but separate. It's very safe. You can rewind the video back, and I was explaining how Bali feels very safe. One of the safest countries that I've ever been to, meaning the island of Bali. I'm not sure other places. And especially in the city that I'm staying in, Ubud. Feels very nice and safe. Although now me saying that, I'm sure I'm going to get robbed or something else is going to happen because the universe has a sense of humor. But yeah, it's generally very safe. Mr. Irakli, I never know if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. You don't accept insane people? No, we definitely do accept insane people, but you have to be fully insane. No half measures. So the more insane you are, the better. But if you're kind of insane and kind of normal, and you're trying to be normal, that's not a good combination. So if you're insane, come on down. So I was talking about the weather. What else can I share with you about Bali? People are very friendly here. People are very nice, very kind, very service-oriented. I've never met, again, as I said in the previous part of this video, I've never met a person that I felt bad vibes from, like, oh, this guy maybe is going to steal something or is dangerous. No, everybody is like on a spiritual path. In this city feels like they're part of the Sangha or they're part of the spiritual growth. I don't know if it's the vibe of this place that's making them like that or it's the actual people that are doing this, but whichever way, maybe it's both, it's fantastic. So this is very conducive for spiritual growth. I wouldn't be here and I wouldn't want to live here long term if it wasn't like that. And I was in Australia, that place, beautiful, but not conducive for spiritual growth. Tufri says, well, I got to do my sadhana, connect with me and send me details, and I'd love to see you guys. All right. You book a flight to Bali and drive 1 hour to Ubud, and then we'll see you. Book a hotel, and then message me, okay? So take action. There's such beautiful mountains. There are such beautiful mountains. Have you planned to visit? So that leads me, your question leads me to the, and yes, you can ask me any question that you want that doesn't have to relate to this. There's a volcano in Bali. It's in the northern part of Bali, and it's quite a large volcano, and it has erupted in the past. When it erupts, you can't fly, you can't travel, and Probably if there's a big eruption, you're going to have to stay indoors for some time because of the ash that is going to cover the entire island. But I'm not sure how severe it is. Yet I don't think it's anything unsafe level wise compared to other volcanoes. So it's a medium sized volcano for the island's location. Actually, I don't know. I have to do some more research on the volcano. But from what ChatGPT said before I traveled here, it's not really any concern if you're living in Ubud or in the southern part of the island next to the coast, that if a volcano erupts, maybe like 1 week or 2 weeks, it'll be disrupted. Your lifestyle will be disrupted, but it'll be fine from there. Yet Indonesia is located on the Ring of Fire, I think it's what they call it, and which is some of the largest volcanoes on the planet are here. And in fact, one of the volcanoes that happened here like 80,000 years ago or something, when it exploded, it almost made the human civilization go extinct, from what I've seen on YouTube. So that's not the best, and I hope that doesn't happen. But we're here for a short time, 60 or 80 years, and we go bye-bye. So we gotta live it up, live with intensity. Yes, you can ask me a question on semen retention. In fact, my friend, I am planning to release a semen retention course in the next few days. It'll only be $47. The price is only 47 American dollars, which is very fair. I feel like it's very fair to price that. It's going to be 3 modules, meaning 3 folders worth of videos. The first folder is already done. The first module is complete. And this is not logical things that I'm going to explain the benefits of semen retention. I have lots of videos on my YouTube channel that are like that. This is more of a channeling. This is more of me sitting down in an appropriate space with the right energy work being done and me transmitting this energy to you, which will unstick you from this very bad habit pattern. This is, I think, one of the first things that I've put out that, realistically speaking, is very good for the well-being of humankind. You know, I want to put out products and I want to sell items and I want to make money, but this is not like that. This is much more about making money. This is about actually doing something that's of true service and value to you. And this kind of came to me like, I need to do this. This is a need. This is not my fancy desire or a way for me to sell a course. No, although I am going to sell this course. This is more of for you. You need to do. I know how my life got transformed by doing this simple practice or habit, and it is unequivalent to not doing it. So the benefits you'll receive are immense. You can't avoid not doing this. You have to master sexual energy, and you have to become sexually disciplined and quit the bad stuff. So that course is going to help you. It'll be available on my website very soon. In the next couple of days, I'm going to announce it. So save up $47 and buy it. Okay, trust me, buy it. And thank you. Mr. Irakli says, can people be afraid? Hold on, I'm trying to zoom out. Come on. Can people be afraid of you when you're on semen retention, or are they afraid of me because of some other reason? So can people be afraid of you when you're practicing semen retention, or they're afraid of... Well, yes, I guess. Semen retention does increase your testosterone. It makes your body full of energy, and testosterone makes people aggressive. But it's a nice thing. If you're a man and you're aggressive in nature, I don't mean aggressive like I'm going to push my way onto you, but just the way my presence is. It is holding my space. That can trigger some people if they're not conscious, but who cares? Yet I don't trust men that don't practice semen retention. It's like you're getting rid of your masculinity. Can you imagine a man not having masculinity or not having masculine energy? I don't trust that man. You don't trust that man either, because he's weak. And strong men aren't valued. They're not safe. They're not safe to be around. You don't know what that person is capable of doing. Okay? Because he doesn't know what he's capable of doing. He can't even control himself. Can't even control his hand. Like, how pathetic and sad is that? So don't do that. Keep your hands away from your pants, and my semen retention course is going to help you with that. Definitely. You need to invest in that. It'll be an energy transference. Okay, this is why you need to buy it. It's a very special product. Mr. D. Carr says or asks, when I'm going on long streaks of semen retention, I feel discomfort in my chest, like pent up energy. It feels like I always want to deep breathe it out, like I always want to release the uncomfortable feeling. Yes, I am familiar with what you're talking about. This is not because of semen retention. This is like pent up trauma or your energy system not wired properly because of, again, probably past trauma. And semen retention is pushing that to the surface. So you thinking that if you get rid of the fuel that's uprising all of your traumatic experiences to the forefront, by getting rid of the fuel, that will stop. Yes, it will stop, but you don't want that to stop. So whatever you're feeling, the tension, you let it continue. It's not going to be permanent. This has to unwind. This has to be healed. So semen retention is a good way of building up the fuel for the tension and the nonsense and the traumas to be undone inside of yourself, to be destroyed. So get my semen retention course. That'll help you out. Too Free says, I can do that, money isn't an issue. It would be nice to get a text with some more info before I commit to that, but yeah, I need to look into it. What? Yeah, it sounds like you're not vibing with this place now. You probably don't need to come. You probably, whatever you have in San Diego is fine. Like, it's not for everybody, and don't feel pressure to come. But at the same time, whatever information you need, let me know. I'll send it to you. Like where we're staying, I can tell you that. No problem. Whatever information you need, I'm here for it. Dikar says, I'm also having a hard time falling asleep. I work out and also focus on my studies. I'm tired, but I can't fall asleep whenever on long streaks. First of all, get rid of this idea of being on long streaks. This is not a streak that you're on. It's like you've been smoking cigarettes. Are you on a long non-smoking cigarette streak? No, you're talking like an addict. You just become normal. You dropped the harmful thing. Holy crap, I'm so glad I'm not doing that anymore and just being normal, how God intended me to be. This is not some streak that you're balancing a beam on your hand or something. No. And yeah, this is something that's also very, I hear this a lot, like people can't sleep because they're practicing semen retention. Look, buddy, you have more energy than you know what to do with, maybe. Probably your body is thinking, what do I do with this energy? And that's why you can't sleep. So go do something with it. Go do some push-ups. Go do some pull-ups. Go run. Go for a sprint. Go for a jog. That will take care of it. So most of the time, people that can't fall asleep is because situation, meaning the environment that you're sleeping in and how the feng shui of your room is and the energy of your space. But most basically or practically is that you have more energy than your body that you didn't spend. So go spend the energy, and it would be good for you to spend that energy. So yeah, that's it, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. We have 6 people watching right now. If you have any more burning questions, then let me know. If not, we can end it here. It is 8:14 a.m. for me. If you're watching this on the East Coast, then it's 8 a.m. for you. 8 p.m. for me. And yeah, what else? What more can I share? Let's see if there's anything else before I finish. When did I convert? What do you mean by that? I didn't convert anywhere. Yes, my friends, that's it. That is the end of this video. That's the end of this podcast. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Shiva Shambho. I am religionless. I am spiritual.